Hey everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new here, my name is Enid, and in today's video I'll be making my first fabric cover for a journal. And I've done a little bit of pre-work by collaging an 8.5 by 11 paper with some fabric squares that I had sitting in a drawer, so I thought I'd make some good use of them. So sit tight and I'll be right back to get started. First thing I did was I took a piece of paper that wasn't in the greatest condition. You see it was kind of stained and dirty, and I just collaged the other side. But before I show you the collage, I want to put these two pieces of ribbon on from the back side. So let me get my fabric tack, and I'm going to put some glue on each side. And I've been having a heck of a time with this fabric tack. I don't know why. I've put a pin in there and cleared it up a dozen times while I've been working on this project during the whole collage process, but it still keeps gunking up. So I just want to put this in from the back side, so that when I stitch around the cover, did I not put enough glue? Okay, hold on. There doesn't seem to be enough glue. Anyway, so I'm getting a good stream of glue now. Sorry about having both my arms in the camera's view. But the ribbon has sort of like a little trim, like a white trim, and that's what I'm following as I'm sticking it down, because I want it to look even. And as you can see over here, I didn't get enough glue either. And I guess it won't matter much, because when I stitch, it should grab the ribbon. But anyway, that's one side. And let me do this other side. Oh, here's a little piece I need to trim the fabric off of. I missed that. So basically, after I collaged the cover, I went around the edges with my rotary tool and a metal ruler, and I trimmed off all of the fabric that was hanging over. So let's see if I can do a better job getting this piece of ribbon on. And if you can see, that's the little trim that I'm trying to get the glue on, so that when you look at the ribbon from the other side, it should look pretty even if I follow that line. Okay, so here's the big reveal. Ta-da! And I'm gonna go ahead and trim off this excess piece of ribbon let me do it from the other side. Oh man. Usually when I cut off a piece of fabric like that, or ribbon or whatever, I usually put a little bit of glue on my fingertip and kind of put it on the ribbon. Let me get a bigger glob so that it won't fray. And when that dries up, I'll trim it again, because obviously the glue is pulling the fabric as it's also sealing it. So this side is working out a little bit better. Yeah, so and then I just kind of rub the glue off my fingers. All right, so what I'm gonna do, let me trim off that piece of ribbon. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I haven't folded this in half yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and fold it in half. I guess I should probably stitch it first. Well, this is good because it's showing me where I need to put more glue, obviously. This piece right here. And let me get my bone folder and kind of fold that over. And then I'm going to put some more glue on this piece of fabric that's hanging over. And then I'll just fold that over and kind of rub it down, make sure it sticks. Get this glue off my mat. All right, so that's that. Bear with me a second as I kind of get my glue covered and everything. All right, so I've got this, I'm gonna use my little rubber tool to see if I can get some of that glue off the fabric. It kind of rolls it up into a ball. Yeah, that's gone. Okay, so this is my little fabric cover. I'm gonna take a piece of this paper tape and I'm gonna put it down the spine just to give it some reinforcement. And I'm just kind of winging it there. It's not necessarily centered, but it doesn't have to be. So I just want to reinforce my spine. And then I'm gonna, let me get my long scissor. And then I'm gonna trim off the excess. And I'll probably wind up putting some lace or something on the spine after I sew it. Because it looks a little bit I just messed that up, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It's my first one, so all right, so that's that. And then I'm gonna take my glue stick, and this doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to get stitched on. So I just want to get enough glue here to for it to hold the paper that I'm going to use to cover the inside. And I'm debating whether or not I Mod Podge or use the Distress Collage medium. So I want to make sure I have enough glue on here, because the last time that I used it on a paper cover, you could see like the paper wrinkled up, and you could see like where it wrinkled up, where there was glue and where there wasn't. So I want to try to make sure I spread my glue evenly here, so that if I do decide to Mod Podge, it'll look good. And once the Mod Podge dried totally, it kind of corrected itself, but it gave me a good scare because I thought I ruined the journal. But when it dried, it looked a lot better. It wasn't perfect, but it was a lot better. So I just want to make sure I get glue on everything here. Okay, I got some glue on my mat. But anyway, so this is from the Tim Holtz backdrops. So I was able to find this purple paper in that package. And when I trimmed it, I sort of left a little gap in here on purpose, so that when I punch the holes to sew in the signature, it'll kind of go through a little bit easier. So anyway, that's that. And then I'm going to give it a fold to make sure it folds okay. And let me see, is that paper sticking up anywhere? No, it is not. Yeah, so I want to Mod Podge it to keep all the fraying to a minimum, because it is starting to fray. So I want to Mod Podge it for that reason. You see I have all these little threads coming up. So I think I said this was going to be my cover. And you can see right there, I need glue. So let me put a little bit of glue there. This is a process. Okay, come on, glue. I really didn't want to sew while glue was still wet, so but that won't be in my sewing zone. And I'm debating, it might actually be in my sewing zone. I'm debating whether or not I should get brave and like try to sew stitches around each fabric square to kind of make it look like a patchwork. But I won't make you guys sit through that. If I do decide to do that, I'll do it off camera and then bring it back. But for now, I'll just show you me going around the perimeter of the cover. So let me bring this back in. I hope you can see that. And I hope I have enough room in the back to kind of run the whole thing through. Let me see. Yeah, I should be okay. I should be okay. I've got a mess in my craft room trying to prepare for this. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get, you know, as close to the edge as I can so that I can get that lace, the trim to the lace. I mean, this to stitch the lace. So I gotta kick off my shoe. I have to sew barefoot because for some reason I feel like I need to feel the stitch. Like if I do it with my shoes on, I tend to go too fast on the pedal. It's just my own quirk, I guess. And I'm slowing down here, and then I'm just gonna crank the last stitch or two to allow me to get it to where I want. And then turn. I could probably do one. No, actually, this is good. So, and I'm doing a zigzag stitch because I'm awful with the straight stitch. For some reason, the straight stitch eludes me. I go all wonky with it. I can't keep it straight. Down here. Let me give it a crank by hand. Okay, I'm gonna turn this around. So I've really got to practice my straight stitching because, like I said, I'm terrible at it. By doing it by hand, just kind of allows you to have more control instead of like accidentally going off the edge. So I like to, like right before I get to the end, slow it down and then do a hand crank or two. And then let me just do a little back stitch. Okay. Wow. So that's it. I went around the perimeter without a problem. So, yeah. Let me move the machine out of the way so I can show you guys. So, see, there goes my stitching. I was able to maintain it pretty straight. I think I'm gonna start switching over to black thread instead of brown because I think it'll be more visible. Anyway, so that's it all the way around, and then that's the sewing on the inside. And this, I felt it that it got caught up, so I'll put a little bit of glue there. And I'm actually probably gonna do a stitch down the middle. That shouldn't really affect the binding, but it'll keep this down. So let me go ahead and do that now. All right, so I sewed the stitching down the middle to secure the panels to the cover. And then I also gathered some pages for the signature. And I'm going to go ahead and put them in the cover. And I'm going to like line it up. I cut them to fit like between the stitches. So, you know what, this page is bothering me. I think I may just leave it out. So the signature kind of fits right between the stitches. And so I already clipped them together to try to keep them in place. And I punched right through the center. And you know what I'm gonna do? Because I always have a problem with it shifting. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the needle through now. And okay, see, it already shifted on me. Okay, there it goes. Let me get the needle through that hole. Okay, there, I got it. And I'm gonna leave the needle there while I punch the other 2 holes so that it doesn't shift on me. So there goes actually, yeah, I'm just gonna leave that other page out. I probably should have gone a little lower, but I didn't, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to take advantage of my holes while they're fresh before they shift. Oops, and it came right through. So what I'm doing is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and this needle has a big bottom. I probably shouldn't have used that because the hole is going to be big and it's going to create some movement. And I'm going to clip my thread here so when I pull the needle through, I won't accidentally pull the thread through all the way. So yeah, that holds it in place for me. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my awl and I'm going to do my 3rd hole through the spine. And there that goes. It came out. And I'm going to put my needle through. And now I have to go back through the center hole. Back through the center hole. But I'm going to try to avoid having the thread kind of go through, the needle go through the thread, because it'll like get stuck if I do that. And by going through the thread, I mean when I come through the hole, the needle could potentially go through this thread, and then you won't get a tight fit on your, when you try to tie the knot. All right, so now I'm pulling it through. And what you also want to do is make sure you have one piece of the wax thread on this side and then the other piece on the other side. So I'm just going to slip it under so that it could be on the other side, and I'm going to pull the needle out because I don't need it anymore. So I'm just going to put that aside here. And then I'm going to give this a tug because I want to try to get this tight. Make sure these are tight. You see, that's kind of loose. So I need to give it a good tug. But not so much that I'm gonna rip the paper. So yeah, so that's better. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and give it one more tug. And then I'm gonna tie a knot. And then I'm going to tie one more knot. Okay. And then I might add some beads to this, so I'm going to leave this long, one longer than the other. And then I'll unclip this. and let me show you. Let me give it a good press. Okay. Oh, you know what? I didn't pay attention, did I? Yeah, I did. So this is the side that I wanted to be my front cover. And then, so when I open it up, I have, this is the first page of the signature. And then I don't mind the white on that side because there's white on the cover and the lace is white. So I usually will try to coffee stain, but on this particular one, I don't mind the white. And like you can see here, the hole is kind of big and it shows there, but it's, the signature's tight. So then I have, so this page, a book page. This is paper I got from Temu. It was the size, it was actually almost an exact fit. The height was perfect. I had to trim a little bit off the end, but it was a single page. So I took some coffee dyed paper and I made like a hinge, and I put it on, I used it to connect this paper with that paper. So I put basically like a spine, its own little spine to hinge the pages together. And then on the inside I used a piece of washi just to give it a little bit more strength. And I have one of my dog's hairs stuck under the washi, so I got that out. So anyway, so now I have this piece of paper, the white background, and like I said, I don't mind it. A coffee dyed grid paper. This I had added when I was making my idea journal. I initially was gonna put 3 signatures in it, but in newbie fashion, I made a mistake, and the spine was too small to support 3 signatures. So this was one of the pages in that was supposed to go in that journal. And I remembered that I had put a purple flower on a page. So I just pulled it out of the spine that I had made for the other journal and transferred it into this one. And so then I have some book page, and I made a pocket here with the book page. And I distressed it with some Villainous Purple, I think it's called. And again, I have the white side, which we'll wind up decorating when we do next week's video. And then some tea-dyed paper. This is another Temu paper. But this was double-sided. It's a short page, but it's cute. It fits in there, and I was able to get all 3 stitches through it. A piece of music paper, and then this iridescent piece of vellum. So it kind of picks up the purple, which is why I used it. And then that's it. It winds up being the middle. I was gonna put this piece in, which I had made. I was just playing around, but it was frustrating me, so I left it out. I kind of regret it now, but hey, you know. So it has some purple washi, and it's sort of like a 3-page. I wanted it to have a flip, and so maybe I'll add it somehow. We'll see. I'll figure something out. And then so when you flip it over, there's cardstock, some book page in the middle, then more cardstock on coffee dyed paper, and then coffee dyed paper. But I don't mind having the vellum as my center page. I'll figure out a way to decorate it nicely. And so now it's only 9 pages, but that's good because, like I said, I tend to over decorate. So I'm gonna gather a bunch of ephemera for this journal, and in our next video we'll go ahead and decorate the journal. because it's small, I think we can get it done in one video. And let me see if I have something white to put on the spine. Let me see what this looks like. Hold on. Oh no, this is too small. So I found a piece of lace for the spine, and I'm gonna go ahead and glue it on now. Let me see if I should put the glue on the lace or on the book itself. I think I'm gonna put glue on the book. And I'm just gonna kind of run. Okay. I think I'm getting a good amount of glue out. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to center the flower on the lace with the spine. So I'm gonna put some glue down the spine. Okay. And I'll probably have to add more glue. But I just wanna start, you know, give myself a starting point with this as far as like the glue goes on the book, on the journal. So yeah. And then I'll have to, so I want to make sure I get like an even amount of lace on both sides of the journal. That looks pretty nice. Yeah, so I have to go back and add additional glue. And I think I'm just going to add it straight to the lace on the edge because it's got a good edge to it. Okay. So that's that. This is glued down well. This is glued down well. I need a little bit of glue here. And I think that's glued down well. And then I need some glue here at the end, at the edge. Okay. Oh, I like the way that looks. Okay, and then now we'll add glue on this side. And I think I'll go ahead and add some glue along the edge of the lace, and then I'll just go and add some to the book like I did before, but at least this time I'll know that the edges are securely glued. So let's see, and then I'll just come in here and kind of put some glue. Oh, come on. Why is this so difficult? Anyway, so I'm pretty happy with how this journal is turning out so far. And then it occurred to me, is this truly a fabric journal? I don't know, because it's not all fabric. It's fabric and paper. It's just a fabric collaged on the cover. So let me know in the comments what you think. Does this qualify as a fabric journal? If not, I'll have to make another one, all fabric, and see how that turns out. But anyway, so far, this is how it's looking. Let me trim off this excess lace. Let me open it up and trim off the excess this way. Yeah. So like I said, let me know what you think. Does this qualify? Yeah, I like the way that turned out. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. I made a couple of mistakes that I wanted to point out. I had intended to do some stitching around each of the blocks. I thought that would have been a nice effect, but I should have done it before finishing off the inside cover. Because if I do it now, or if I had done it before putting the signature in, you would have seen all this awkward stitching and it would have detracted from the look of the journal. So there will be no stitching. And also there will be no Mod Podge on this journal because I should have done that as well before sewing in the signature so that I could lay it flat and do one side at a time. Anyway, it is what it is. I love the way it turned out, regardless of the things that I messed up on. They weren't really mess ups. They were just things that I wanted to do but now can't. But I'm going to figure out other ways to, you know, if it starts to fray, I'll just reinforce it with more glue, or maybe I'll just Mod Podge it one cover at a time, you know, and just go gently, you know, around the lace, because I don't think I want to put it on the lace. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And again, let me know whether or not you think this qualifies as a genuine fabric cover. And I'll be collecting some ephemera over the next couple of days, and I'll be back in the next video to decorate and finish it off. Thanks. Bye.